go get them again.
Welcome back to another unboxing first impression video on my channel. Today we're delving into a brand new release from the brand of Carolina Herrera. And yes, as you can see, it's lightning bolt season today. It is Bad Boy Elixir, not the first Elixir. We see Cobalt got the first Elixir of the brand. Funny enough, they didn't do their flagship release with Elixir first. Interesting, but Bad Boy gets its Elixir here in 2025. And I'm going to be quite honest here. There's a lot of my viewers that are just like, what's going on here, Mark? Like, what are you doing? This ain't you, and it ain't me. All of these have been decanted for the This is inclusive of that. It is for the decant shop. So none of these are my personal bottles. They look very empty for good reason. I've decanted them all. I haven't met a Bad Boy release that I smelt the eau de toilette. And I was just like, oh, okay. Like I'm past this kind of goofy bottle kind of thing. It was around like halfway through my YouTube journey. Like I was 2009 starting, you know, around 2014, 15, the Invictuses and the Bad Boys and all that. And I was kind of like, I'm kind of off this stuff now. I just can't do it. So yeah, I do have an open mind that you never know. You know, the recipe of Bad Boy, which is mostly cacao, sage is a big thing in this release, this fragrance, among other notes. You know, it kind of sounds appealing, but it's just so juvenile. So we'll see what Elixir is, especially here with this new release that I've never smelt. And again, you're asking yourself, if you're new to this channel, you're like, why are you reviewing stuff and giving negative reviews? Because I'm a fragrance reviewer. If you Google reviewer, we're going to give out positive and negatives. And I'm not the only one. People go online and say, oh, Mark thinks like he's bashing everybody and he says, just subscribe to me. No, there's some good reviewers out there. But unfortunately for me, if I shout out someone 1 month, next month they're, they're sold out. And that's the issue with this fragrance community. So why am I doing negative fragrance reviews? Because things are coming in for decant purposes, and I'll give you my thoughts, honest thoughts, right? You don't go to Macy's and you go, everything smells good. Look at your favorite fragrance reviewer. They're saying everything smells good. There's a reason. There's an issue here. So we're going to see what this one has in store, in stock for us. My expectations are dirt low. I don't care how sexy your no breakdown is. Carolina Herrera, I'm trying to figure, like I'm looking at my collection here. Their Privé line's really good. The Confidential line, I like those. Nothing wrong with those. Their men's line, even, you know, CH Men, Privé, all that stuff. 212, I ain't feeling it. Bad Boy is probably the worst of the bunch. So that's my honest truths. Now you can click off if you want, but I'm very honest. If this thing's a banger, I'm going to tell you it's a banger. So if you're new here, welcome to the Robes 08 channel. I'm your host, Mark. Hit that subscribe, smash that like button. You know, that's all we're doing here is we're exploring. We're delving into new releases like this and seeing if they're worth your money. 2025 has been very, for me personally, all these designer releases that I've been smelling, you know, sampling samples and of course unboxings, has been very poor. It hasn't done it, unless you're a child, unless you're 12, unless you're 20, and that you like Invictus and you like Jean-Paul Gaultier Le Male stuff. And I do like some of these brands, but it's just you're not doing anything for me. So, however, we do have, you know, the one that really impressed me was Déclaration, EDP by Cartier. That one was a very good designer. Actually, it's probably the best designer that I've smelt in this whole brand new releases. So let's take a look at the note breakdown. Let's see what we get here. Fragrantica only gives us the 3 notes here, the 3-note monster as per usual. In the top we got sage, so sage returns. In the mid we got leather, so we'll see what kind of leather we get out of this one. Is it going to be rough and tumble? Is it going to be light? What's going on in trend right now in leathers, and I think it started with Spice Bomb Dark Leather, is a suede-like leather. Now, of course, you can go way back in time and go, okay, well, 1 million started the suede-like leather. It wasn't really a huge primary in 1 million because there's a lot more to it, but the suede-like leather thing is kind of coming back. There's been a few fragrances that just have like this soft leather thing that doesn't smell rough and tumble. Like, I don't know what's going on with that. And in the base we have cedar, so some missing here. We have that, of course, that cacao, that chocolate that this brand is known for. Release date, of course, 2025. Noses, we have Louise Turner, and we have Quentin Bish. No, why? Oh my, no, man. Okay, well, is it gonna smell like the new Le Male flanker? Is it gonna smell like a new 1 million flanker? Quentin, possibly the worst perfumer that I've like his resume is absolutely atrocious. Like, if you smell everything that he's made, I don't know if I could make a top 5. Like, worst 10 maybe. You smell alike. Aki Galawood, Takami. I don't see any of that in here, so we'll see. Pricing, you know, the designer pricing now is around 140 to 200 USD, give or take. These have the smaller bottles and the bigger bottles. So you're gonna have the 50 mils, which I don't have one here. I got the 100 mils with the built-in atomizer, which is what this one is, and the 50 mil also has the built-in. And of course you got the 150, the big boy, where people tell me, oh, it's a thick. No, the 150 comes with a cap. Come on, kids, keep up. So this is 100 mils, so we're gonna have a built-in atomizer as per usual, I would assume. Discounters, you're probably 100 mil like this, you're probably looking at around 100, 120 with a new release like this. It may go down a little bit, but yeah, the days of like Carolina Herrera releases that, you know, you wait, you know, 6 months to a year on discounters and it'll go down to like 50 bucks. Those days are long gone. Remember those days that like this kind of brand, it would fall off a cliff. Like, it would hit discounters at around 100 bucks USD. A couple months in, it'd go down to 80, 70, and it would just keep going down to like 50, like right above bargain bin kind of pricing. Weird. But let's unbox this thing, because, you know, I gotta decant this bad boy today. That's my goal. Do a review for you. See if it's good. See if it's not. And again, I have videos, I believe, on all of these, because I've decanted all of these. And I'm having a hard time here. And again, expectations dirt low. You know, and I'm always pulling for these brands. I'm pulling for them to see if you can give me something that is decent personally, right? So it has the brown, which is always good. I'm assuming that's the leather and cedar combo. They're going to like an ambery color. It's got the gold backing to it. Goofy bottle, of course. So let's put on strip first, and then we'll put it on skin, as per usual. Atomizer is okay. For a built-in atomizer, half decent. Let's smell this thing. It's okay. it's you can definitely smell the leathery touch in here. It's a suede-like leather, but it has a little bit of, I wouldn't say bite, like there's no smoke, there's no rough and tumble, there's no textures, but it has like almost like a spicy nuance to it. Wow. And here we are. Here we are. Yeah. There's a floral component in here that is not listed in the note breakdown, huh? Sage, leather, and cedar. No. It is, it has some sweetness to it as per. Yeah, the chocolatey factor is there, but the leather is more prominent. So kind of like sweet, little spicy, a little a lot of leather actually, quite a bit, but it's a suede, like it's a tame one. But it has a little bit, I don't want to say bite because bite means kind of has some texture to it. It really doesn't. But it has a lot more oomph than, let's say, a Spice Bomb dark leather has. This one has a lot more. Is it aimed for kids? Yeah. But the leather's half decent. So, and again, like, as much as I want to pan them, you know, the lightning bolt, the goofy bottles, you know, if you're in this like me, like niche head, right? Like I'm into Hermes, I'm into Chanel, Dior as far as designer brands go, Cartier, brands that are a little more different, a little more obscure. This is like the Jean-Paul Gaultier, Paco Rabanne, kind of put them all together in a little bunch. They kind of smell alike. This has it has that bad boy DNA, that juvenile DNA that I'm smelling. Like it's sticking around. There's definitely a floral component in here. I'm sensing a lavender, and lavender is hot right now as a note. I'm sensing it right here. I don't know if I looked around, but you do get that cacao note, that chocolatey aspect, but it's not very dense. I mean, it really is kind of just sitting there. And then you have that leathery backbone, which is your backbone, and it's your major player. It's your primary in here, actually. And there's a little bit of just like a thin, smoky veil, like very thin, like just a little bit of a kind of almost like a resinous feel. Incense, myrrh, but it's definitely not on that aspect of like big thick resins. It's very thin, has some creamy aspects too, so there might be several florals in here. There's a lavender, and then there's something that gives it creaminess, maybe an iris, not a very good one, but an iris indeed. Something in that manner, maybe a white floral. This is much brighter. It actually has some citrus appeal on the strip, which there's none listed, like a mandarin or something like that. Sage, yeah. But smooth leather. So it's in that, you know, don't think like ombre leather. I guess that would be like the best kind of comparison versus designer fragrances in the same price point. Ombre leather is like a rough and tumble leather. It's something that has a little bit of texture. It has a little bit of something to grasp on as a leather, right? Spice Bomb dark leather is a great comparison to this because the leather doesn't have anything to grasp onto. There's no texture. This one has a little more personality than the Spice Bomb. Funny enough, like I'm more of a fan of the Spice Bomb DNA than the Bad Boy DNA. But as a true blue fragrance reviewer, that's not going to blow smoke up your, you know, sometimes bad lines have some half decent fragrances. And honestly, this is, it's tippy-toeing versus that juvenile kind of poopy stuff that we have here. But it has a little bit of that leather, smoky, a little bit of those florals, which is a lot of the stuff that's not listed is bringing me into this fragrance and saying it's actually not bad. Like it's almost like a stepping stone of, you know, you're kind of used to the teeny bopper, Jean-Paul Gaultier, Invictus, bad boy kind of stuff. And this is kind of maturing your nose a bit, just a bit. You know, you're not into the Hermes yet. You're not into the Christian Dior's, and I don't mean Sauvage. I mean the good stuff, and the Chanel's, the Hermes, and all that. And moving on to niche territory, you're kind of getting a little bored of the, you know, the Bish special. Hey, Bish did all right here. Now I don't know if it was Louise Turner that maybe made it better, but there is that sweetness in here, and there is that bad boy cacao, chocolate, sage kind of thing. But lavender's your backbone. Lavender leather with lavender. There's lavender in here. I don't care what the note breakdown says. Fragrantica is wrong like half the time anyway. But yeah, it's a smoother leather, but it has little glimpses, like little shadows of interesting parts, like a little bit of puff of smoke. And I mean, like, you know, I don't want to say incense because obviously, you know, incense has a lot more personality than this, but it's just a little bit of that smoky facet that makes the leather a little interesting. Yeah. And a little bit of wood speaking through. So not bad. Hey, you know, sometimes, and again, that's the trial and error, right? Just because, and this is a great thing for people out there, that just because let's say the history of the line, the history of the fragrance brand as a whole, and again, I'm not comparing this to like a DHI or DHP. It's a masterpiece. It's 10. No, it's definitely not a 10. It's definitely not a 9. It's a 7, a good 7 though, right? You know, that's what I would kind of score it. Like I usually don't score on unboxings, but honestly, it has some things I can grasp onto, like, but again, if I don't have the YouTube channel, I'm here and I'm at this part of my journey. This would be just like one of those I'd smell and I'd be like, huh, wow, they did not bad here. That would be my emotional attachment to it, and then keep on walking. You know, I wouldn't buy it. But as a fragrance reviewer, I gotta say, like, you're stepping up a little bit in regards to all of these. Like, these are okay. Like, some of them are bad and some are real bad. This is in the okay territory. That's smooth. Like 1 million has that suede-like leather. And that's like one of the comparisons to this. Spice Bomb Dark Leather could be. There's quite a few of these, but they've put in a little bit of interesting pieces as well. So surprisingly decent, we'll say. Not bad. Yeah, it's okay. Now that you've heard my take, I'd love to see yours in the comments below. Good, bad, and the ugly, right? Let us know what you think about this fragrance. Yeah, and again, for me, you know, right, the history of the brand has shown me that they've been, they don't speak to me. So this is kind of like a nice little, like, it's not a Gucci Guilty Absolute where I was just like blown away. Like, that's a 10, and Gucci Guilty sucks. Like, the whole line sucks. Like, there's some okay ones, but they all suck. Like, it's kind of like, this is like the Gucci Guilty of the Carolina Herrera lineup. They suck. And this is not a Gucci Guilty Absolute where it's a 10, like absolute must buy. This is more like, oh, they did okay. Yeah, no, it's all right. So I can't wait to see the comments, and I know that my audience may not have too much to say about this, but anybody that's new to the channel, please feel free to let us know what you think about this one. I'm going to give it the okay stamp of approval. And as always, a great report fragrance will make a lasting impression. Choose your scent wisely. Thanks for watching, YouTube. Have a good one.